All right, today we're going to break down the gap and the gain. This is a really powerful mindset shift, especially for all you ambitious people out there who found that, success doesn't always equal happiness. So let's just dive right in. It's a weird question, right? A total paradox. You set a huge goal, you work hard, you crush it, but then that feeling of fulfillment is gone in a flash, or maybe it never even shows up. This is a surprisingly common thing for the most driven people. So what gives? What's really going on under the hood? And this quote from a reader of the book just nails it. It's a Trojan horse. This habit of always focusing on what's missing, on what you haven't done yet. It just kind of sneaks into your head, and even with all your accomplishments, it leaves you feeling anxious and totally unfulfilled. Okay, so this feeling, it actually has a name, and just understanding it is the first real step to fixing it. We're talking about a psychological trap that, honestly, tons of ambitious people fall into without ever even knowing it. In psychology, they call this the hedonic treadmill. Think about it. You get that big promotion, you hit a huge sales target, you set a personal record, and you feel amazing for a minute. But then, way too quickly, that feeling just evaporates. The goalpost moves, and you're right back to striving, feeling like you're emotionally right back where you started. And a big part of this comes from our culture. We're always told to be in the pursuit of happiness. But just stop and think about what that phrase really implies. It means happiness is something way out there in the future that you have to chase down. It means it's not here, with you, right now. That whole idea sets us up to always be looking ahead, and we never get to actually appreciate the present moment. So the big question is, how do we get off this thing? Well, the solution is a really simple, but honestly, a profound mindset shift. It's all about understanding the difference between two ways of measuring your life: the gap and the gain. So on one side, you've got the gap. This is when you're constantly measuring yourself against some future, often impossible ideal. Your whole focus is on what's missing. And that, of course, just leads to frustration. But on the other side, you have the gain. This is where you measure yourself backward against where you actually started. You focus on the progress you've made, and that is what builds real, lasting confidence and satisfaction. Okay, take a look at this, because this visual just breaks it down perfectly. Over on the left, when you're in the gap, your focus is always on that huge distance between what you've done and your perfect ideal. It's a recipe for feeling like you're always coming up short. But look at the right. In the gain, you measure from your starting point to where you are now. Suddenly, the exact same result gets reframed as incredible progress and a huge success. And listen, this isn't just some feel-good, positive thinking fluff. This is about literally rewiring your brain. When you consistently choose to see the gain, it has these powerful psychological benefits that create a real positive upward spiral in your life. So when you focus on your gains, you start building genuine confidence because it's based on actual evidence of your progress. This naturally fosters gratitude, which is like kryptonite to anxiety. It fuels your own internal motivation, it quiets down that harsh inner critic, and it creates this amazing positive feedback loop where success just breeds more success and, here's the key part, more happiness. I love this quote because it completely flips the script on how we think about success. We usually think that achievement is what's going to bring us happiness, but the argument here is that happiness is the fuel for achievement. Starting from a place of gratitude and seeing your progress, being in the gain, that's what actually allows you to perform at your absolute best. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get to the good part, the how. And the best thing about this whole concept is that it's super practical. You can literally start doing this today. So here it is. The core of the whole practice is just this one simple mantra to use anytime you start feeling that familiar frustration of not being there yet. You just pause, and instead of looking forward at how far you still have to go, you measure backward. Just remind yourself to look at how far you've already come. And to really make this stick, to turn it into a habit, the author suggests this super simple daily exercise. At the end of every day, just take a couple of minutes to write down 3 gains you made. They can be big, they can be small, doesn't matter. Then you set yourself up for success by writing down 3 gains you want to achieve tomorrow. This literally trains your brain to constantly be looking for and creating wins. All right, so to really see how powerful this can be, let's look at a real-world example of this concept in action. Seriously, this story from the book is just incredible. So let's talk about Dan Jansen. I mean, by any measure, this guy was one of the most talented speed skaters on the entire planet. But for years, an Olympic gold medal just kept slipping through his fingers. He was a classic high achiever, just haunted by past failures and this immense pressure. He was the poster child for living in the gap. But then, right before his final race at the 1994 Olympics, something just shifted. Instead of focusing on the one medal he felt he needed to win to validate everything, he consciously shifted his focus. He started thinking about everything he had already gained: the incredible support of his family, the dedication of his coaches, his pure love for the sport itself. He moved from a mindset of lack to one of deep gratitude. And the result of that shift? It was just unbelievable. Skating with joy and gratitude, totally free from the weight of the gap, Dan Jansen didn't just win the gold medal, he obliterated the world record. He was skating from a place of abundance, and the result was historic. And his own words just sum it all up perfectly. Success is an internal measurement. It's not about being better than somebody else or even hitting some perfect ideal. It's about being better than you were before. It's you against you. So really, if you take away just one single thing from all this, let it be this idea right here, which can totally reframe your entire approach to life. The way to measure your progress is backward, against where you started, not against your ideal. It is all about where you decide to place your focus. So I'll leave you with this question. Just for a moment, forget the ideal. Forget what's still on your to-do list. Just look back. Look back at where you were this morning or last week or even last year. What progress, no matter how small, will you acknowledge? What gain will you celebrate today?